Hey, paid in full. You never know what's going on behind that wall, right? Oh my goodness. I couldn't help but have that song playing all day, even when I worked out this morning. Paid in full.
This is a journey into
the answer. We all want to be paid in full. All the bills paid off. Indeed. Good to see you.
Into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color.
Yes. You know, that's when I wouldn't have to worry if they were going to cuss in it. I don't think this song has like one cuss word in it. And I love it. See? There is a way to enjoy my music and not have to worry if you're going to hear it. Thank you so much for sharing your lunchtime with me. If you eat lunch at this time, I gave up on lunch break years ago. I can't remember the last time I went out to lunch. No, but I hope that you are taking a lunch break because it's different. Entrepreneurs structure their day different. Half days for us are 7 to 7. that's working half day. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed. This is a great time to talk about the trillions of dollars that are on credit card debt. It's crazy. It's crazy. New reports came out, and the credit card balances are growing. The credit card balances are growing and getting bigger and bigger, and people are playing with debt. I'm telling you, there's like basic, how you doing? How you doing in Stone Mountain, Georgia? There are basic things like that you, and I hope that, oh, I see they switched it. Oh my goodness. We got somebody all the way from Panama in there. Oh wow, look at you. Cebu, what you doing in Panama? Yeah, that's the first time we ever had anybody internationally logging in.
I'm listening to JB Bryan.
I know that's right. I'm so proud of you. Looking all handsome and everything. You got shorts on? You got shorts on?
Yes, I do have shorts on.
It's like I'm not standing up. Showing them legs. Yes, indeed. That's so beautiful. Yes, Mr. Boy is in Panama. And I'm gonna tell you, there's things go. I can't even imagine watching the news from where you are. Like, it's nothing like what the news says. Believe me. We're doing the same thing. Ain't nothing exciting going on over here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All I want us to do is to have love. I should have started it with love, sweet love. That's all we need more of. What did she say? Dionne Warwick said, "There's just too little of." So the only shortage we have in America is love. I saw today, and Stone Mountain, Georgia. I want you to come in and meet Mr. Bowie too. She's gonna be scared. She's gonna be scared because we got company. Miss Davis come in all the time. Now you came in and got her scared. Miss Deloach said that she had to get her daughter from the airport and she is ready to come to DC. I hope that September 13th, Mr. Bowie, you will come to DC. That you will come. We're having a special, our own AfroEconomics town hall, private members only meeting, and it is going to be the best meeting ever. Ever. You don't want to miss this one. You want to fly in. Next time we'll come to Panama.
I was going to say, I found it out a little late, although I think I did see it in writing, but.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Bowie, you don't know Mr. Bowie. You don't know Mr. Bowie. She try to act like she know you. She don't know you. You don't know. Miss Davis says she know you. Wouldn't it be something if y'all didn't know each other? See, you don't know him. You need to, but Ms. Davis is coming from Georgia. She's flying in. That's one good thing about having an office in DC is that, it's easy for everybody to fly in there, isn't it? I mean, it really is. If I had, which I've had before, in the Virginia office, it makes it a lot more complicated. Anybody near a major airport can get into what? Reagan, BWI, or Dulles. Come straight. Get in the Uber, be right there at the office. If you like the train, you'll be right there. We're at Metro Center. How you doing, Ms. Davis? Yes, indeed. You don't want to miss it, Ms. Davis. You want to get to the meeting on September 13th. Everybody, even if you're not a member today, you want to join, become a member now. Even if you do the no excuses, there's no excuse, it's complimentary. I have noticed that where we are is because of what we do. Like everything, like so much stuff comes at us. Look, and as soon as Mr. Bowie turned off his camera, then Ms. Davis, you come in. See, you did that. He would have stayed. He would have stayed and ate his cereal with us. It's all your fault, Ms. Davis. But what I have noticed is that most of the things that happen in life are because of what I should do. See, it makes it like, I think it's too intense. Let me see if I have an option that will make it a little bit less intense. Yeah, Mr. Bowie, you could come back. I got it less intense now. You could come back. And
I'm eating. Mama say don't eat in front of company. So
oh, that's so sweet. I don't even know what they eat in Panama. So what we have is, especially when it comes to like credit card debt in general, is that we have to become responsible. I said, like, most of the discussion, if you Google like discussions on credit card debt, most of it, unfortunately, is going to be on how to get around not paying your balance back, especially if it markets to our community. It'll be about how to get rid of the debt, and then basically the way that they'll get you out of debt is to ruin your credit. And one of the many things that I thank God for AfroEconomics is our strategy is to get us wealthier. And wealth and bad credit don't go together. So we start at the fundamentals. We start at the foundation. I start at the financial planning. I start at the beginning. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to impress us. Nobody knows how much. We don't have different levels, unless you want it, like the level to just talk to me. But it's not. You don't know how much Ms. Davis has, or you don't know how much money Mr. Bowie has. You don't know because of that. Like, we don't have like VIP seating. We're all VIP. But our one-on-one time, we address wherever you are. And I'm going to tell you the truth. By associating with people who want to be debt-free, you will become debt-free. If you commit to developing the habits of those who are around you. Just as with the negative. If you decide that you want to be broke, you're going to automatically be drawn to broke people. And I noticed that over the years, y'all. I've been doing this over 30 years as an investment advisor. And I've noticed like certain people will just pull back from me. And when I did not understand the importance of association, I didn't get it. Because I'd be like, they think, I want to help them. I want to help them. But my presence and commitment to helping you do better actually is offensive to a person who insists on being broke. My freaking website is refuse to be broke. Refuse to be broke.com. Look, don't you see my face when you get there? Isn't that crazy? But I'm so glad I got that website. Refuse, number 2, BE broke takes you to JB Bryan AfroEconomics. if you don't want to be broke, hang with people that don't want to be broke. Right? Right, Miss Anderson? Like, you know, exactly. Like, Miss Anderson been knowing me so long, and I know that she can look at her life, and she's as a client, as, you know, an associate, as a friend, that her life hasn't done anything but get better by the things that we think about. Now, today I was looking at this posting by Essence Magazine. Now, Essence Magazine has had a change in ownership and things like that. But most importantly, it's had a change in ideology. So I saved it on my phone and I started to put it. Thank you so much, Ms. Anderson. Like, I'm happy. I'm happy. It makes me happy to make you happy. No, I got mad respect for you, Ms. Anderson. You did it. You were a single mom before I was a single mom. And I'm going to tell you, it's my clients that kept me going. Now, to me, it was, look, I was old, had a baby. My husband left me. My clients were looking at me like, girl, you are like you the first single parent on the whole freaking planet. I mean, I literally felt like that. Like, you know, I was like, I don't know how people make that when they're young. Like, when that happened to me, I was 10 years deep into my business. I could survive, thank God. It is very hard, like when unexpected financial things happen. But we have so many positive role models around us of people surviving. Men going through divorce, losing everything. I got them on my client book, and they are now richer than they ever were before the divorce. You go through it, you associate with people who want to go to a better place, and then that's how we become paid in full. That's how your life becomes that of a rock star in your head. Because all that matters is how we feel about ourselves. We put all this money, waste all this money on how everything looks to other people. And that's exactly what God instructs us not to do. God says in the word, it says, a fool and his money shall soon part. Be foolish and see how soon you're going to be broke. So our number one rule is you can't be foolish. There are specific, like you know, the thesis statement of today's discussion is, what is the difference between the person who pays off their bills every month and the person who leaves that balance from Christmas to Christmas? Starts Christmas with a credit card balance. Christmas to Christmas, they broke. They're depending on to pay it down from the money they get with the tax return, but then they got other stuff they got to do with the tax return, and then they, you know what I mean? That is a certain mentality that is encouraged. So back to Essence Magazine. It's funny I started. So I'm talking about mentality here. There's a picture that the magazine posted of a fold chair saying that it is like National Fold Chair Day because of that fight that was had and people beat people with the fold chair. Do you remember what I'm talking about, Ms. Davis?
Is that Alabama thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They call it National Chair-teenth. See, now you're gonna disrespect. Yeah. You're gonna disrespect Juneteenth with the Chair-teenth. But have you ever seen Essence Magazine honor the Nat Turner Rebellion?
Mm-mm.
So then you can get this garbage off the internet. We don't do that. You don't get wealthy by that type of mentality. Chair-teenth Day. It ain't funny. It ain't funny. It's not funny. And that is the kind of stuff that keeps us with the credit card balance, because you feel that foolishness is all right. How I get all the way from Chair-teenth to credit card balances, but I'm telling you, ignorance will make you broke. Thinking that violence is okay sometime will make you broke. You know, it happened. But our national, abroad magazine, turning it into a holiday is not okay. And Ms. Davis, I can tell, I know you so well, so you just got this look like, oh yeah, it's okay to have that day. Tell you, is that what you're saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what you're saying.
The chair day.
But I'm just saying, I'm telling you, it puts money in your pocket when you don't think like that. It puts money in your pocket.
I never even knew it
puts money
existed.
in your pocket. Essence couldn't even have a successful fair, but then they're gonna put that up there. But you got all these people all over social media talking about how horrible your Essence festival was this year. And you got other stuff to take care of, Essence. I'm telling you, that kind of stuff makes you broke, Essence.
I never knew there was a chair day.
There is no chair day. They're going off the day that happened and taking it from Juneteenth and calling it Chairteenth Day. That is freaking disrespectful. You can tell that they have no connection to the history of Juneteenth. They have no connection to the history of our country. There's absolutely no way that any African, a black American will think that that is worthy of disrespecting Juneteenth to call it Chairteenth Day. This ain't even a teenth. This is a 6th day. So you're just ignorant because it ain't even a teenth.
I see where they were selling earrings with chairs, you know, like earrings that you put on. They had those. I saw cards. I saw coffee cups. All sorts of things were being sold and, you know, kind of manufactured back at that time. I never bought any of that because.
Good for you. That's so sick. That is so sick. So that was a way to exploit Black people and to make us buy into that ideology that that's going to make us rich because they're getting rich off of us selling that. But again, it's sick, and it wants to keep us broke, and it wants to keep us angry because the connection between angry Black people are broke Black people. Empowered Black people are not angry. AfroEconomics is about empowerment. Empowerment. My goal in life is to become so confident about my relationship with God that I can stop myself from doing something that can ruin my life. Over and over, things keep hitting our riches and our community because of that lack of discipline, like Essence is putting out. Now, if they get attacked, if Essence gets attacked by, the white people, not attacked, but just addressed, or they just sue them because that's evil. That's just mean. So what are you saying? We should all pick up chairs and beat up, that is just disgusting to me. That happened. That was a unique, specific event. But at the root of us as a people is got to be love and empowerment and decency and integrity. The 5th principle of AfroEconomics is integrity. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, you look at all that's going on in Ohio. It's that same Chairteenth mentality that is having that. And then you got all these people now that are going to have to come up with money for lawyers and spending all that money. Their home kids, they look young. They got little kids and now can't go to college, going to have to figure out how to get through school. You know what I mean? All of that because their parents are going to have to figure out how to stay out of jail over something that the first brother that got hit did exactly what we should do. Turned our backs on him. He could have called the police right now, right then. That first hit, you call the police and report assault. I remember one time I was in my 20s and I went to this dry cleaner, this Asian. And they didn't have my dry cleaning available to me, so I left. I came back. They had my dry cleaning available. So I said, well, I came on such and such a day, the day that you told me to come, and it wasn't ready. You know, you're supposed to do this for free. So the Asian lady, like Chinese descent, Asian, and she looked back. Her husband was back here in the back, and she looked at me, and she grabbed my clothes, threw them on the ground, and stomped them.
Whoa.
20s. I sat down in their lobby and dialed 911. The police came there. They said, what do you want to do? Because that is assault. What would you like to do, ma'am? I said, no. I'm not going to press any charges. But I wanted to shake her up.
Mm-hmm.
And until we get to that point where we can control ourselves and use the law that is designed to protect all of us for our advantage, like people do with their credit card. If it says you use your credit card, you get all these reward points. The majority of people that use credit cards are only using them for reward points and their convenience. Put it on the card. Over 54% of the people with a credit card pay it off every month. In all my years in business, I never saw those numbers pulled out. But when I was reading that research this week, I said, wow, that's empowering. We need to know that. One time I was on this panel with a whole bunch of other people that put themselves out there as financial advisors, and this guy from the bank and this other one that has a podcast, real popular, but no license, no accountability, not having to be regulated like I am regulated to make sure that I look out for Ms. Davis's best interest. So when they come up there and they're telling you about, what is in your best interest, we have to start asking, well, do you really have a securities license, Susie Orman? And Susie Orman, if you look it up, it will show you, only had a securities license for a couple of months. Then she sued the company she worked for sexual discrimination, she said. But do you know how many people walk up to me? I've been doing this, and speak to me about what she said as if she know more than I know. Like 20 years ago or so, and Susie Orman said, oh, the stock market will never come back. Did anybody hold her accountable for it? No, because what? She has no license. She can say whatever she wants, whenever she wants. And that's the bulk of the people out there. They can say whatsoever they want. That's why only a few hundred listen to me. And the thousands of us, hundred millions, listen to the people that have no accountability to you. Do not have to follow not one their law. Don't have to do anything. Just can say and be popular and spend the money on promotion, and you cash at them and then continue to have your credit card balance. So I was on the panel and they were mad at me because I said that the key for our community to get wealthier is for us to have our own businesses, for us to have assets. And the other arguments were, oh, nah, you can be in debt. You can go in debt. You know how many people think that they have to go into debt in order to actually start their business? I would love to see the research on that the overwhelming majority of us successful businesses, and I can call mine successful because I've been in business over 30 years. We can probably count on one hand the number of Black-owned businesses that have existed over 30 years and still Black-owned. Isn't that something, Ms. Davis?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Humans matter. So it says, like, I'm gonna tell you, I did not get a government loan to start my business. I started working to start my business. I started serving people to start my business. I went without to start my business. And the person who pays off, yeah, Swapper. They get angry every time anybody tells us the truth. When I say they, I mean people that look like us get angry when I tell you the truth because they only make money off your ignorance. The more empowered you are, the more money you invest. The more empowered we are, the more businesses that we start. The more empowered we are, the more we shut down places like Essence saying Cherokee. They would be afraid. They would be afraid. They would be afraid to put that out there on my holiday. They would be afraid. I want to know the person. At that point, like at this point right now, I wish I knew the person. I wish I had more influence only for that, Lord. If God could give me the influence so that I could say, bring them to me. Bring them to me who thought that Juneteenth is okay. So that I would have the opportunity, like I did on that podcast where I said, we need to be debt free. We need to be building assets. We need financial institutions. If they're going to give us a loan, give me a loan to buy an asset. What's an asset? An asset is something that you can live off of. Something that can feed you. Something that can give you income for the rest of your life. The wealth gap, it's just amazing to me that the government does this study of the road to zero wealth, which is already negative. Why can't you say the road to positive wealth? But they finance this study on the road to zero wealth to tell to us that this is before COVID too, when the research was done, that more likely than not, the majority of Black people will have zero wealth in the coming years. How are you doing, Roz? Like, what in the world? Reverend Bozeman, come on in. Definitely. What in the world? How do they get away with that? You have to come on back, Mr. Bowie. I know you ate by now. You don't need all that. Nah, there's the link. There's the link. That, what in the world?
I'm here.
The assets. Oh, I need to see your face so I can bring y'all. I forgot they put us on a different. It won't let you come up until you turn your camera back on. I don't know why it says camera, but you don't have your camera on.
No.
Let me try again.
Nobody needs to see me. I'm here.
But I think we can hear you. I think they can hear you.
Right.
We don't need to sit our butt down. But anyway, back to this very important Black History moment. Is that the cost of debt for things that depreciate does absolutely nothing for wealth. And a big thing also, I want to make sure that we know, a big part of AfroEconomics is understanding the difference between income and wealth. Reverend Bozeman, definitely turn on your camera. The income, Mr. Bowie, turn on your camera. You tell me what income and wealth, what's the difference? You want to say, Ms. Davis? Okay, Mr. Bowie, please tell us what you see when you look at the difference between income and wealth.
Just off the top, I would think income is probably going to end up being outgoing, wealth is something that you're going to, hopefully sustain.
Yeah, Ms. Davis, you have to turn on your camera. Like, so income is that you're something ongoing.
Uh,
Okay, tell me again.
You get income, but income is going to probably be outgoing. It's coming in, but it's probably going to go out.
There is actual health connection. You know how they say wealth is health?
mhm.
Have you heard that phrase? Like I use it. You know, health is wealth, wealth is health, black wealth. But in reality, research says that income has a higher correlation to good health than wealth does. And that's something. Because wealth is your assets minus your liabilities. So you could actually have assets that create no income. So you can't really take good care of yourself. And that's something. Like there's millionaires, but they have no cash. They have no income. They're getting nothing from it. So when we have assets, we have to make sure that they're assets that actually do something for us, like you said, to give us the income so that we can have the money going out. But that from a health perspective, that makes sense, correct? Like if you don't have any income, how do you buy the organic food? If you don't have good income, like, because you can have a lot of assets, like, okay, like a person has a business and they have the business forever, but they don't know how to generate income from the business. They don't know how to get that business to create income on its own. And look, this is the mistake that we make all the time. Unfortunately, too many of our businesses don't call on me as an investment advisor when they get deep into their business and take some strategic steps on how to sell their business. And it makes a huge, huge, huge difference. I need to see if one of our members at one point I helped him sell his business. And then we made investments that are paying him for the rest of his life. From the business, that was 2 generations deep. But it was his accountant that said, hey, you need to talk to JB Bryan about this. We need more of our accountants to stop trying to do everything and let's work as a team and help each other. Because it was great. I mean, it was so strong. I think that the strongest thing that we can do is help our clients get to where they got to get. We have been socialized to believe the lie that we're supposed to be able to do everything. You feel me on that, Reverend Bozeman? Like, say like, you got to do it. We got to do it all. We have to do it all.
Yeah.
When in reality, the best thing that I can do for you is make sure that it all gets done properly.
Right.
Properly. So the accountant said, oh, yeah, she can help you with this. And I was helping him with accounting things, with the proper structure on how we can do the paperwork so that we're saving the most from an accounting perspective. It's all in how we position it. And if you don't know, that's why I believe our community spends a lot of money on taxes because they don't know how to properly do their taxes. They don't know, So when they go to their tax preparer, because I don't prepare taxes, I just prepare you to go to your tax preparer. And what trips me out is that some of you are guilty of I help you, and then the next year you don't let me help you because you're all excited because we got it right one time. But we have to do it every time to make sure that you give them the right thing. Like tax strategies is not at tax time. Tax strategy is all year long. So that when you give it to the tax preparer, because the majority of you have a tax preparer, it's my job to do tax planning. So when I send a client to, like Miss Davis is in here, I'm glad she's in here, but she hasn't turned her camera on. When I send the client to Ms. Davis to prepare the taxes, she knows I've been working on it all year, getting them right for her.
Yeah.
So the difference is so that is the same thing when it goes to our debt. So if you have more money because you're doing your taxes right, you're not not overpaying your taxes, you're not facing tax penalties, you're getting it done, we're facing it, you got the team together and we're getting it done, then you can actually pay off your credit card balance every month. So the characteristics of the person, of these 52% of the credit card balances that are paid off, I just wanted to know, like, what is that person like? Well, they're considered to be responsible. They manage their spending within their means to avoid the high interest rate. They are disciplined. They are disciplined. As simple as that. I don't have that money. Remember, I was telling you about going through a breakup because he wanted to put a trip on a credit card and I didn't want to?
Yeah.
That was something though. When I put that, like the AI like broke out and gave me like a 1 minute short of that. I don't know how it chooses which ones instead, but that stood out to the AI. Like it was like, on this. So yeah, some people got mad, like, because I was, and I think they called it like the power of no or something, like, you know what I mean? And then this guy was like, so because you said no, you really think it made that much difference in your financial life? Yeah. Yes, it makes a difference in your financial life when you don't allow your partner, your friends, your whatever, your family to put you in the hole financially. Because people will think that, oh, why don't you just use your credit card and come on? Right, Herb? Yeah, you became that person that said, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't care if they say, oh, and I'll pay you back. I'll pay you back. Don't do it. No. And I'm glad. And I feel like there's a correlation between sickness and the inability to protect yourself. Have you ever seen that, Reverend Bozeman? Like, they're saying like people who don't take care of themselves, but will do anything to make other people happy are more likely to get an illness.
Yeah, because they put pressure on themselves to take care of the world.
Yes.
And they find that the people who are most successful financially are those who have learned to say no.
Yes. And the research shows that generally women with bad credit and bad debt have gone into the debt for someone other than themselves.
Someone else, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing but admire my father. My father used to say no. He basically had no in his head. And I feel like a lot of the reason that he said no was because he was there as a parent. And I think that some parents that aren't there, like the non-custodial parent, feels like they have to do these things. You know what I mean? And they can't say no because they feel bad that the marriage fell apart or they broke up or they weren't there and this and that. No.
It's a guilt trip.
Yeah, they get on this guilt trip, so they feel like they have to come through all the time. My father didn't feel that way because he was with us all the time. He ain't went on no damn guilt trip. It's like, I feed you. No, I'm not paying for college. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
What I had to learn.
You should have got a scholarship and unapologetically looked at me like that. Figure it out. And I figured it out. Yes.
one thing I had to learn when it comes to people wanting to borrow money or want
Yes.
financial favors from you,
Yes,
please know you're not the only person they have asked.
that's right.
And you're not the only one that they're going to ask the next time around. They're going to continue to ask you. Now,
They
if
came to
they
you
know,
last, probably, if they already owed you something. That you
well,
were the
oh
last
no,
choice.
I've had them to borrow and borrow on top of what they just borrowed. I've learned a very hard lesson. So now, no is written across my forehead too.
There you go.
Aside from
Join
my
the
brother,
club.
it's just no.
Join
Nah.
the club.
Mm-mm.
Join the
Not
club.
doing it.
They said that women are more likely to have autoimmune diseases because of that type of behavior of throwing themselves under the bus. No, and then they get angry with it and come up with an Essence magazine ad about beating somebody with a damn chair. You know what I'm saying? So you're angry in places that those of us who don't let people do that to us, we ain't angry. Matter of fact, I say that, you know what I'm saying? I present myself. I have never been in a fight in my life. And I thank God for that. But I literally think I present myself so well. And when I'm walking down the street, I go, now if somebody steps to me, they gotta be retarded. Why would you choose me? I look like I can fight. I look like I'm gonna stomp you, drag you down the street. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get with you. Like, especially when I'm walking down dark street by myself, I walk like I mean it. Like, so I don't have to be angry and I don't have to hit people and I don't have to do all that. But when you have not done the proper things to protect yourself, that's where the anger comes from. That's where the anger comes from your lack of wise decision-making processes. You get angry, come out with ads of beating up people with a chair. You know what I mean? And you want to bring out the worst. You want to bring out the worst and then connect it to Black history.
I laughed when you said beat up people with a chair, because when I was 16, I decided to quit school because I was too smart. And my mother picked up a kitchen chair.
Whoa, that wasn't no fold chair. That was a real chair.
That was a real
That was
chair.
a chair that was wood. And it wasn't that cheap wood. It was that pressed wood back then, boy. She hit you with the chair?
Oh, she picked up that chair and hit me across the back.
Oh, man. Good for
and
her.
said, "You will go back to school or you will leave this house."
You know that's worse than Kirk Franklin.
Oh, wow.
Goodness gracious. Whoa, what did Kirk Franklin say he was going to do to his son? Lord. Oh, my goodness. It is funny, though. My mother was violent like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? May they rest in peace. But they were. Like, you know what I'm saying? They would be in jail for the stuff they did to us, right? Oh, my goodness.
Right.
That's why I probably never was in a fight, because the person probably looked like, this lady looked like she could take a punch. Yeah, I can take a punch. I can take it, drop and roll. You know what I'm saying? Oh, whatever. Goodness gracious, did we? And you didn't even think about hitting your mother back, did you?
Oh, no.
And the kids need the kind of dad that I know you were, that when you looked at your sons, they sat down and shut up. My dad never hit me in his life. And pretty much that's me with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? My approach was with her was, you don't want none of this. You know what I'm saying? And all I would do was squeeze her hand. I remember she got tall as me. She did something. I took her hand, but she went all the way down to her knees. It was over. I ain't have to worry about it no more. She said, this woman's about to tear my hand off. I mean, I just took the hand. God give me strength. Boom. I mean, she just went to the ground. It was over. This grit lifts 300 plus pounds, sis. Goodness gracious. So we're over this, right? No more arguing about the cell phone, okay? Okay. But these kids, they don't have that now.
No, they don't.
Because we don't have the discipline. I have to have the discipline. Like my daughter doesn't know anything about alcohol in the household. She don't know nothing about no damn weed in the household. She don't know nothing about that. Thank you, God. That's what these kids deserve. That is discipline. So when they see it somewhere else. But she will say that I know my mother had the ability to do this. So when it comes to money, it comes easy. Well, I look at it don't even tip me. I look at these expensive purses and stuff like that. I have zero interest in that. I want to have a meeting for my clients. That's wealth development. I have a meeting with my clients the next week. Somebody talking about making money. JB, here's another 200,000, 300,000. You know what I'm saying? That's an investment. We're not investing. We're just spending. You know, if I was a supermodel, maybe I would do that. But my clients, I'll put some money in my briefcase. I take Toomies all day long. I ain't got no cheap briefcase. Nothing that, you know what I'm saying? That's going to be part of my presentation. But the rest of that's unnecessary, that doesn't add to the value. I like Toomies because it is a quality product. I walk in there with it. No matter how old it is, they hook it up. They take care of me. It's done. And the service. But the other, like, you know, over what type of purse and this and that. No, when I'm going to put the purse in my briefcase, ain't nobody going to see that. Like it, you know, just a nice purse. Just a nice purse. It's not like it's because I truly don't believe that that's an investment. I don't know how to get my return on my investment on that item. This sweater I have on, it's 10 years old probably. I'm literally going to tell you, I pulled out this one dress to put on for today, and the dress fell apart. The stuff from it, the fabric and stuff fell apart. Oh my God. I can't believe this thing is falling apart. I'm going to have to sweep the only part I cared about was that I was going to have to sweep this up. I'm like, oh my God. Now I got to sweep this up. I mean, it was like a fake leather, and the leather parts just, fell all apart. I have never seen anything just fall apart. That is funny. But, you know, someone would say, well, that means I got to, you know, my mother used to tell me that all the time. You need to buy yourself something every week. You know what I'm saying? I do buy myself something every week. I buy into my business every week, every day, every second. I'm constantly investing. Believe you me, build that asset. If you're doing it, like I was telling this brother the other day, he was like about a business loan. I said, man, you know, you can write off your credit card. If you got to use your credit card to get stuff for your business, you can write that off. And with these high interest rates right now, you want any debt to be business credit. Because it's like, you know, it's too much to have consumer debt in this type of market. No way. But we need to be in an environment that gets that, because the majority of people, if I walk up to them, I say this type of thing, you need to pay off your credit card every month and this and that. They're so far from caring about that. They're so deep in that. That's why so many people got such, you know, dramatic responses when the government said, we're going to let you go. You know, and they got so mad at me when I said, well, then get another job. But, you know, the point is a job is a job is a job. That's not your business. It's a job. And we all need to be having, if you work at a job, you need to constantly be updating your skill, learning everything about your job, making yourself so valuable that they cannot downsize you. And if they do, you're so good that you're going to get another job that pays more. Stop being fear-based. Fear-based is what makes us angry. You see so many angry Black woman stuff, but it's because she's afraid. She's afraid. The only way to stop being afraid is you have to fully equip yourself to take care of yourself and your family. You got to keep your skills up. You need to skip Dubai and get you a certification. Skip it. Invest in you. Yes. And I'm not going to encourage us to depend on the government. And I never have. I never have told us that the government is our way up and that they owe us anything. They don't. The only thing the government owes is to my clients that work there. They owe my clients their pension. Other than that, no. They owe us the opportunity to do whatever we want with our life. Do you know what to say? The pursuit of happiness. And the pursuit of happiness, we have to define that. And I'm sure they weren't talking about putting stuff on credit cards when they made that. Everybody has the right to the pursuit of happiness. But somehow for us, it has become living beyond our means. People who pay off their credit cards monthly typically stick to a budget. They monitor their spending so that they can make sure that even if they put it on credit cards, they have the money to pay this off when their check comes in. Yes, Ms. Mack said, jobs are temporary assignments. Amen. Yes. And then if you're going to have better credit, full payments positively impact your credit score. And when your credit score is strong, it's open doors to better opportunities, like a better mortgage interest rate. Don't go into trying to get a mortgage and begging these people and begging them. You get in AfroEconomics and let's clean this stuff up now before you're trying to refinance, before you're trying to do a home equity, before you're trying, be conscious of, I don't want to go in there and beg these people. And according to research, they did research on car purchases, and they found that Black women had no idea where their credit position was, so they could tell the Black women anything. The women of color, that's how they defined it in the study, that the women of color, they would say your credit is okay, and their credit was like 750, or credit was great. I've seen it do this to members. And then I'll go back, not even knowing, and I'll just go back and say, oh, no, my client definitely deserves a better rate than this. And I remember the last time I did it, boy, the car dealership got so mad. I mean, I'm always going to look out for the client. And then they brought it down 2 points. 2 points.
That's a lot.
But the crazy part is that why don't we realize that JB shouldn't have had to get ugly to do that? But instead, we look at me like I'm the problem, the person I'm looking out for, not men, but women. When I'm defending you, and then they go, well, you overreacted. Like, did I get you to 2 points or what? I shouldn't have had to do anything. But we really should think about the fact that they were robbing you.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with it. I didn't call them. I ain't cuss at them. How can I overreact just because I want better for you? The number of women that I lose by defending the woman is worth crying for. Them, don't cry for me. I promised God that I would rather lose you with truth than to gain you with a lie. There's no power there. I got to answer to God. And I'm not going to go around trying to be everybody's friend on the other side. Oh, yeah. Hi, car dealership. I know you did your best. Okay. All right. Robbing my client.
Well, that's the Black inferiority complex that we have.
They think it's like, who do you think you are, JB? Questioning them. And then they talked about me behind their back. Like, who does she think she is? Questioning. Well, first of all, you were charging me too much. So I guess she's right. That's all we should say.
Yeah.
when I found a $16,000 error in this lady's tax return. And I said, I cannot believe that they're doing this. You know, and she got mad because I told the people that that's illegal what they were doing to the client. They were. It was. I said, you have a requirement with the IRS to write down all of the expenses for this client. If you cannot correctly do their tax return, then just say I can't do it. But they did not want her to write off her losses. And she paid that 16 grand. That's crazy. Well, I'll get it right next year. I ain't heard from her since. So that's, you know, that, I mean, and the only reason she reached out to me because she was tired of people exploiting her.
Yeah.
I can tell you so many times I should write a book about, you know, that you beg to be exploited. So don't blame it on the white people. Because I've seen you do it.
Well, that's the same syndrome that existed when the civil rights movement first started. Was there were a lot of black people who were afraid of offending the white society.
Like Harriet Tubman, you know, me and her born on the same day, so you can see it. I could see Harriet like, come on, let's go. And they were like, Harriet, are you crazy? I ain't going with you, girl. You crazy? I'm a tell boss. Harriet had to tear them up. Now I gotta kill her. Couldn't she just go back in the house? Nah. Harriet, leave it with everybody. That is so funny. Because I can see him do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Harriet's like, oh my goodness.
You know, JB, Harriet probably held some people at gunpoint. You know, she carried that shotgun. So you probably held them at gunpoint.
She said she had to kill some people.
Yeah.
And she said, I could have saved more, but they didn't know they were slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So while we go talk about it, the balance. Oh my goodness. So protect your good standing, your credit. I mean, you look at people trying to get superintendent jobs and they got bankruptcies and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, from greed. You buying all that stuff, they walking up to the school board meeting with red bottoms and they complaining about your pay.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't get paid enough in education. You got on $1,200 shoes, $1,000 suit jacket. What in the world? Well, I'm a PhD. Okay. Pay your bills. Oh my goodness. Prioritize. The person who has the zero balance prioritizes paying off their credit card. It is a big deal to them. It's their key to freedom, right?
Yes.
I gotta get rid of this. I gotta get rid of it. It's gonna be done. This has gotta be done. Like I did when that guy, and he was cute too. I can show y'all the picture. I gotta go find a picture because he still had hair back then. I think he's bald now, but he had hair. He was like, JB, like, you know, let's go on this vacation. I mean, he was really, really good looking. I was like, no, I don't want that kind of debt. I ain't putting no trip on no credit card. He was like older than me. And I don't know how I said no. See, you know what I'm saying? I mean, ignorance is pretty cool. Like ignorance, I would have had that man today if I was just dumb. I could have me a man, a bald man. Just be dumb. Isn't that true? Like the choices that we've made, but I thank God because it's like, you know, I guess just thank God for having the business and being in this business. And I've told y'all that before. Being in financial services has saved my business because this is what I do. And I can't, like, you know, when you have this type of license, you can't do a bankruptcy and stuff like you can't do that. So I really, something that might seem hard, you know what I mean, actually is what can save your life. Where I was telling you about the client that said that when he first started buying real estate, you had to put 20% down. And he was like, I thought that it was the white man being hard on me, but it ended up helping me build equity. And he said, that's why I got so much equity now, That's why I feel about these loans where now people are going into homes is glorified renting, because they have them putting down $1,000 or less on a government loan. So the government then charges them a higher interest rate because of they have no equity in it. So the government typically, remember in Ms. Harris's campaign, she was talking a lot about that, like just building, the government wants your money. And that's sad. Because they know the foreclosure rate is going to be so high on this person who's going into there. So it's just a glorified renter that's paying the government taxes, paying insurance, paying, has to take care of all the maintenance, has all these responsibilities as the owner, but they're really renting. And if they don't keep up with the payment, all that they put in there is gone.
That's right.
They would have better renting something they could afford and getting the maintenance paid for. But we got to look at those things and get that. And then meanwhile, they get the house. Then what does the next thing they do? They start using them credit cards. They need furniture. They need a big screen TV. They need this and this and that. Like, you know what I mean? So you're flexing, but it's all on credit. So we have to understand how credit works. The person who's paying it off every month, they are the one that's in AfroEconomics. So literally, this entire discussion is preaching to the choir. It's like if I'm a minister, but I'm just out here talking to people that are already doing the right thing. So I'm hoping that somebody out there is listening that is not doing the right thing, and that you will be encouraged that it's not okay to live beyond your means. It's not okay, even though this is the American way. Financial services is one of the leading industries in the world, but you are making that company so much money by living beyond your means. At the first chance that you get, given the situation, the first chance that you get, you need, because sometimes there's situations like this. I met this lady and she wanted a complimentary consultation. So I talked to her. She was like, I'm very sick. I've been sick. I'm hoping I'm going to get approved for disability. I got $5,000 in my 401k. That's all I got. That's all I got saved for my whole life, JB. She said, and I owe Capital One. I owe Capital One $3,000. So what I'm going to do to protect my credit is I'm going to take my money out of my retirement. That's what I'm thinking. I just want to know what you think I should do. I'm going to take my money out of my retirement and I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it to Capital One. And I said, oh, so is Capital One going to take care of your emergency needs? Is Capital One going to feed you? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, why do you feel so indebted to Capital One that you're going to take your entire life savings? You know what I'm saying? You're going to send that to them. Like, what? So all you're going to do is just fill it back up again. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, so it's sometimes people say that because they're so used to using credit that they don't understand that they could just spend their own money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to use a credit card. You could just spend your own money. And you could call them and tell them your situation and tell them, I'm jacked up. I'm sick. I can't pay that. And I'm out of work and I'm waiting for disability. How about talking to them? How about doing that? So sometimes That's the approach. But then but then sometimes the person isn't sick. And so I would give them a whole different answer. But this lady is very, 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 very sick. She wasn't a member, just a complimentary call. I didn't know her. But it is interesting that she was saying, this is all the money I have to my whole life. This is it. And I'm going to send it to them. I said, like, that's consumer debt. What do you think they're going to do? Come and take those shoes back out your closet? They're not going to do it. They can't do that. I said, it'd be different if it was a mortgage. Yeah, they could take your house. If it's a car, they can take your car. So, but on credit card debt, the interest rate is so high because it's based on they might not ever get it back. They know this. That's why they're charging you 20%.
Now it's 35.
That's something. Yes. So it's definitely something to pray about. Definitely something to talk about. Definitely something to keep it real about. And it's not people that make a lot of money that are exempt from this. A lot of times people make a lot of money and they spend a lot of money. So they keep a credit card balance because their spending is out of control. Mm-hmm. But the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So you got to be careful, thinking, well, I make 10,000, I bring home 10,000 a month, I'll take care of it later. I just did 2 months. When are you going to get 2 months of no bills and be able to pay off all your credit card? The better the job, the more offers you get. The more they hang you out, the more they want you to hang yourself out there. Focus on investing. Focus on asset development. Focus on buying things that are going to generate income for you for life. Focus on investing in getting help. Join AfroEconomics. Seriously consider it. Jenny, you are so right. When you see a new house, you gotta have new furniture and sometimes a new car. Exactly. They don't want that old car outside their new house. No, you know what I'm saying? They just be getting new. People will be getting just new. It's just seen it. I've seen it. And my little self-surveys. Yes, indeed, from Georgia.
Have you had a situation or maybe have had clients that have had, quote unquote, good credit and be sent a credit card that they didn't even apply for?
Oh yeah.
Like I
told you, I get checks in the mail. Do you get the checks?
I've gotten a check, and then I've gotten the credit. Well, the credit card comes first, and then the check. I have a Discover Platinum, a Platinum Discover.
Yep.
I never asked for, with my name on it. I'm like, how did this come? And then I have a Citibank that I never asked for.
Right.
And someone said that these financial institutions, some kind of way they scan your, and they know when you have fairly decent
income. And they know your income.
Your income, and then credit score is relatively A-okay. That's when you get this kind of stuff without even asking.
But more important to them is because they can make up for the credit score with the interest rate they give you. More important to them is income. Can you pay something? Then you ain't got to make that much because they go to, but I did have one client that over COVID, they just lowered her when she went out of work, and at the credit union connected to her job actually lowered the balance and messed up her credit score, like lowered the credit available. So it made it look like she was maxing out her card and she was about to refinance her house. That was Jack. Isn't that mean?
Yeah.
Because if you have, 10,000 more, so it, so you look like your credit card is only at, say, 20%. Then all of a sudden they bring it down and you're at 100%. So you've maxed out that card. So that is what matters. Not that it is only 2,000, is that it was 2,000 and you've maxed it out. Yeah, that hits the score. It hits to score hard. And in that situation, what you could do is you have to have the money to pay it off. So you'd have to have that money in the middle of you lost your job, you're trying to refinance, but look, you'd have to pay that card all the way off or way down, and then wait to refinance when the credit score comes back up. But those are the type of things we could talk through. I love y'all.
All right, love you too.
Friday.
Right.
Paid in full.
Love you back.
Reverend Bozeman, get ready because we're gonna have a whole session about your book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's great. So as soon as the book release, these people, or it would be even great if it was ready for September 13th. Yeah, but the
well, it's electronic, so
it's gonna be so that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So we can all download it. That's great. He's like, yeah, but y'all gonna pay for it. Don't be trying to get it free.
I was about to request a signed copy, so that I was about to do that.
Yeah, you're gonna get a signed copy, all right.
Yeah, just like my AfroEconomics has never shown up.
Oh,
Ooh,
but
gonna
I'm gonna
leave a
give it to you
bruise.
when I see you, though. I'm gonna give it to you when I see you.
Nor my T-shirt.
Alrighty. Look, but you can't say I don't have them. I got some, my boy. Yes, indeed. Hi, Twyla. How you doing?
Hi, I'm glad to see you. Glad to see everybody.
Oh, that's so good. We're glad to see you. Thank you. You were like, let me get in there before they cut this thing off.
I'm gonna tell you what I was doing. I went to your site while I was listening. I was trying to change my membership status, and I did something wrong. I said, let me just hurry it before, and I'll go back to it afterwards.
That's right, because you always a member. What's the
Look,
member
but
always
no,
a
I
member?
got to be that kind of member because I'm in a position now. I got to talk to you about some things.
That's right. Make that money on that money level. Money level. Refuse to be broke level. That's right.
Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
you, Jenny. Yes, indeed. Y'all be blessed.
all right.
Love
See you. I love you more. Bye-bye.
Right.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Love you, JB. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you Friday.
Thank you.
Friday.
For sure. I'm going to
Yeah.
get that done, what we're working on. Great. Thank you.